So Charlie Kirk had never even heard of the man until his death. That's one. Two, here's the lesson of the day. Because I've been seeing a lot of going back and forth online, particularly between even, believers, right? Christians. And I think that one thing that we need to just agree on, and I think most of us know this, that for any even halfway sane person, we agree that what happened to this man was not right. We agree that what happened to this man was egregious even, okay? No human being should be shot down like a deer in the woods, okay? I don't even like that happening to deers, to be honest with you, okay? I think that most sane people agree to that. Now, here's where the issue is. When we start adding additional words and layers to the story, like, oh, he was a martyr, oh, he was, darn near a deity, people tend to do that when something horrible happens to a person. We tend to focus on the good things that we feel that they did or they represented. We tend to focus on the fact that he was young. He was a young man, okay? A young father, husband, all of those things. And with me not knowing anything about him, when I heard just in general that this happened to a person, I was horrified. I was like, oh my God, let alone this happening in front of a bunch of people that are now traumatized as well, most likely, if they're normal, okay? I don't think anyone that sees something like that is unaffected, okay? Again, here's the issue. What happened to him was terrible. I wish it had not happened to him. I wanted to find out who this person was. So I went and looked him up. And the good thing about someone who is a public figure, whether you're aware of them or not, there's a lot of information out there about them, and particularly in their own voice, own words. He has a huge YouTube channel. So if you were like me and you didn't know he existed, you can go on his YouTube channel and you can hear him live and in living color, speaking his perspectives, his views, his stances, etc. Okay? When I went through a couple of videos, I immediately realized why I had never heard of him. He would have not been on my radar. I was not his audience. I was not someone who would have gelled with his messaging. And not that I don't agree with probably some of the things that he believed, but just what he seemed to represent, I'm not in line with it, okay? And he did not only represent being a man of faith. Now, see, here's where we're having the issue, okay? Especially for you Christians. This is what I really wish that we would do. I really wish we would stop allowing ourselves to just go by part of the story. Just because someone speaks the name of Christ, this is even in the Bible, okay? I'm not a Bible scholar, but I know it's in there, okay? There are going to be many people that speak the name of Christ, that say they're even doing things and works in the name of Christ, who actually do not have the Spirit of Christ. If Christ were to come back right now and were to observe some of the videos that I saw and some of the things that were said, he would, I imagine, say, what spirit are you of? Because that ain't me. That ain't me. Both things can be true. What happened to him was a tragedy, and I do not think he deserved that. Whether I agreed with his ideology and all this stuff, whatever, there's a whole lot of people that follow him, and I would say probably the majority of the people are following him because they do agree with him. But then you're always going to have people that are just in there because they want to observe, whether they agree with you or not. Okay? But the other part can also be true, that this man was not really a full representation of Christ, the love of Christ to all people. Now, that does not mean that you don't call out things that are morally wrong or against Scripture, but that is not what you do. How many times have our mothers and our fathers told us that? It's not what you say all the time, it's how you say it. It's the spirit in which you say it that really tells what's in your heart. When you're making comments like about Black people that are very condescending, that are very... I'm not going to even go to it because I did not watch on purpose very many videos, and I watched short ones because that's all I needed. That's all I needed, and I was pretty clear on why I had never heard of him, okay? Although he had a huge following, I just was not his audience, okay? I want us to stop, please, acting like we do not understand the fact that someone can have something horrible done to them, and we can all agree that that was horrible. He did not deserve that for just speaking and being and all of the things that he was doing. But we do not have to either act like that this man was some type of saint, that no one should have nothing negative to say about him. That's also not true from what I can see. And again, I don't need to go into a deep investigation. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is the fact that there's so many people that are having a problem with figuring out how they should feel about the fact that he was killed. Now, me, again, I don't have a problem with figuring that out. It was wrong. I hate that it happened. It shouldn't have happened. He didn't deserve it. Also, I didn't like a number of things that I saw that he said, that he stood for. That's a period. There's no need to argue about it. If you don't see a problem with things that this man said, especially if you are a Black person, okay, yeah, you're Christian, I'm Christian, I consider myself more so a follower of Christ, because sometimes people that are labeled as Christian or are labeling or identifying themselves as Christian, they are really not followers of Christ in the authentic way. So, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment below and subscribe.